So, what do you think about the recent increase in the debt ceiling? It's an ill-conceived scheme that's smoke and mirrors. It doesn't cut spending. It simply reduces overspending from $10 trillion to $7.5 trillion over 10 years. It is not really cutting $2.5 trillion in spending. Where did you hear that? I didn't hear it anywhere. There's this thing called the internet that was invented by some guy named Al Gore. If one is careful, they can go out and look for truth and facts. It has allowed me to engage in critical thinking and to have well-informed opinions. But if our legislative branch didn't raise the debt ceiling, we would default on all our loans, and America would be doomed. The mainstream media has stated this over and over again in robotic fashion. If you don't support the debt ceiling increase, then you must be a radical tea bagger. Although I've attended a Tea Party rally, I'm not a radical. It isn't radical to want a balanced budget and responsible fiscal and economic policies. If you don't support vast overspending with no end in sight, we cannot pay for social programs. That makes you a racist. How do you figure? According to Bill Maher, all of you are racists. He's very intelligent, educated, and occasionally even funny. I trust him to give me hard news and tell me what I should be thinking. I'm a mixed race. My girlfriend is a black robot, and some of the most ardent Tea Party supporters are minorities. Herman Cain, for example, has given many speeches at Tea Party events. Who's Herman Cain? Does he have a show on HBO? No. He is running for president, and I support many of his views. According to you, he is a black man who's a racist because he disagrees with Barack Obama. Your logic does not compute. What does logic have to do with arguing? If you don't support the debt ceiling increase, you are a right-wing extremist. Oh my God. I need a witness. Are you for real? How am I a right-wing extremist? According to the New York Times, anyone with your viewpoint is a radical right-winger. That publication is run by educated, respected journalists. I trust them to present all sides of an argument without any agenda or spin. Actually, I'm a libertarian who disagrees with many right-wing conservative views. What's a libertarian? I've never heard of them, so their views must not be important. Are there any libertarian newspapers that I can read? I haven't read my daily dose of the Huffington Post and am therefore devoid of thought. I'm not really sure about that. Anyway, libertarians believe in individualism, small government, and the free market. I think that left and right-wing ideology sometimes gets in the way of making tough choices and doing what is right rather than what is popular. In short, I am not right-wing. Many people in the Tea Party movement are not right-wing, and therefore the Tea Party is not made up of right-wingers who exclude others. Well, if you're not a traditional Democrat or Republican, then you must not be a patriot. How do you figure? MSNBC says that all you guys are unpatriotic. They have the best sets, the best sound bites, and I often get my news from them in 30 seconds or less. I trust MSNBC because they are consistent and Rachel Maddow is hot. Rachel Maddow would do. In a pinch. If by consistent you mean that they consistently give one-sided interviews and consistently have the lowest ratings, then I would agree. But, I digress. The facts are that I served 20 years in the military, I'm well versed in the Constitution, and I'm currently learning as much as I can about the Federalist Papers. The Federalist what? It's the original argument for the creation of our Constitution and, by extension, our country. I can see now that all of what I've heard is true. What's that? You are a terrorist? Now that's just plain stupid. It's true. Admit it. You want to. To what? An act of terrorism necessitates a violent act. Name one violent act that I've committed to further my ideology. You know, I have to say, without a doubt, that I admire you. How so? You don't let pesky facts get in the way of making an argument. Our legislative branch has used the same technique to raise the debt ceiling. In fact, during this conversation, Our national debt has increased over $3 million. Well, at least we won't default on that $3 million.